Hi everyone, in this video we're going to go over the circulatory system by examining the different blood vessels that we have in our body, and also make sure you understand the basic function of each blood vessel as well. Let's start with the arteries. When we study arteries, these are blood vessels that are carrying blood away from the heart. Most of the time, the blood that is going away from the heart are carrying the vessels, that are going away from your heart are carrying oxygenated blood. But there are situations where the arteries that are going away from your heart are carrying oxygen poor blood. So, as of right now, just understand that arteries carries blood away from your body. Some arteries, the majority of the arteries, carry oxygen rich blood, but there is one artery that carries oxygen poor blood. All right, let's start with the ascending aorta. We examined this in the heart chapter. The ascending aorta is here. It's going to branch up into the arc of the aorta. And in this blood vessel, we have oxygen-rich blood because it just came from the left ventricle. Then we have the descending aorta. So ascending aortic arc, and then descending, which actually goes behind the heart. From the aortic arc, we have the brachiocephalic trunk, which takes blood to the upper regions of the body. Then we have the subclavian artery, which is one branch off of the brachiocephalic trunk. This would be the right subclavian artery, and it's supplying oxygen-rich blood to the shoulder. From the subclavian artery, that blood vessel is going to branch out into the axillary artery, which supplies blood to the axillary region. We also have the carotid artery, and there are two carotid arteries, a left and a right one. The carotid arteries carries oxygen-rich blood to your head. Now we're going to move into the pulmonary trunk. The pulmonary trunk is going to turn into the pulmonary arteries. You see that the vessel here is in blue because it's representing oxygen poor blood. The reason why the pulmonary arteries carry oxygen poor blood is that the blood just came from the right atrium and right ventricles. Remember, these two chambers carry oxygen poor blood because it just received it coming back from the body. So it's carrying that oxygen poor blood through the pulmonary artery so that the pulmonary artery can take it to the lung, where the lungs is the site of gas exchange. You exhale out carbon dioxide and you intake in oxygen. And that is why the pulmonary arteries is one of the arteries that's carrying oxygen poor blood. Well, it is the artery that's carrying oxygen poor blood because, again, it's just going away from the heart. We have the brachial artery, which supplies oxygen-rich blood to your upper arm. From the brachial artery, that branches out into the radial artery. There's another branch which goes to the ulnar artery. And then we have the palmar arches, which are the blood vessels that are supplying blood to your digits. Coming from the descending aorta, we see the thoracic aorta right here. The thoracic aorta is a blood vessel that supplies blood to the abdominal region and to the upper part of your body. The thoracic aorta branches off into the abdominal aorta, which primarily supplies blood to your abdominal organs. From there, it branches off into the common iliac artery right here, which branches off into the internal iliac artery. And then there's also the external iliac artery. So internal here, external. The iliac artery supplies blood to your pelvic region. Branching off of the external iliac artery, we have the femoral artery, which takes oxygen-rich blood to your lower limbs. And we also have the popliteal artery as well, which branch off from the femoral artery. And the popliteal artery supplies blood to your knee joint. So these are the arteries in your body. We are now going to discuss veins. Veins are blood vessels that carry blood to the heart. So arteries carry blood away. Think of artery, it starts with the letter A, away starts with the letter A. Veins are blood vessel that carries blood back to the heart. Veins can carry oxygen poor blood, but there is a vein that carries oxygen rich blood. Let's start with the pulmonary veins that carry oxygen rich blood. You see that right here. These are the blood vessels that carry the recently oxygenated blood that just came from the lungs back to the heart, and it's going to drain the blood into the left atrium. So you got the pulmonary veins here, you also got the pulmonary veins on the other side because there are two lungs, left and a right lung. All right, so now let's discuss the superior vena cava. This is the largest vein in your body. It's carrying blood, oxygen poor blood from the upper part of your body back to your heart. And the other large vein in your body is the inferior vena cava, which carries oxygen poor blood from the lower part of your body back to your heart. Before those veins before other veins merge into the superior or inferior vena cava, we can see the median cubital vein right here. This is the vein where your blood gets withdrawn from. We also have the basilic vein, which is carrying blood back to your heart from your forearm, from the upper part of your arm. That merges in with the brachial vein, which carries blood again from the upper part of your arm back to the heart. And you see that how it's all going to merge into the superior vena cava. We have the cephalic vein, which carries blood from your shoulder back to your heart. The cephalic vein merges into the axillary vein, which carries blood from the axillary region, so your armpit region. This is going to merge into the subclavian vein, which then takes it again back to your heart. All of this, you see that it's going to merge into the brachiocephalic vein. So trace the veins where they merge into, and then eventually the brachiocephalic vein will merge into the superior vena cava from what we discussed earlier. We also have the internal jugular vein. There's also the external as well, but it's not shown here. But the external jugular vein, there's a right and a left side. These are the veins that drain deoxygenated blood from your head, and it's going to take it back to your heart. And eventually you can see that it does merge into the superior vena cava as well. From the lower part of your body, you have the great saphenous vein. This runs all the way down to your leg. This is carrying oxygen poor blood from your lower limbs back to your heart, and you can see that it's going to merge into the inferior vena cava. We also have the femoral vein, which carries blood from your thigh region back to your heart. We have the external iliac vein, the internal iliac vein, the common iliac vein. These are the veins that are merged from the previous two veins that we mentioned down here. These veins primarily carry blood from your pelvic region back to your heart. We also have the hepatic vein and the hepatic portal veins. The hepatic veins drains the blood into the hepatic portal vein, which merges into the inferior vena cava. These are the veins that are carrying oxygen poor blood from your liver back to your heart. We also have the renal vein as well right here. The renal vein is in this area, and it's carrying blood from the kidney back to your heart. And that sums up the chapter on the blood vessels. Thank you.